This is Between Hook Sets. I'm Jason Walter from In Through the Outdoors with my partner in slime, Kurt Underhill from the Fishing Crew.
All right, we're back. Take two.
Yep, take two. Wow. You know what? Sorry, folks. I'm sure everybody's wondering what in the hell happened. So, yeah, it never said that we were live. And I'm like, well, what's going on? And then I saw red, and I hit the end stream, which I don't know if we were actually live or not, Kurt. I really don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, we were. I think so for 37 seconds. We had like 9 people watching. So, looks like we got both.
They're coming back
now, so it worked out perfect. But let's bring these boys on because they got stuff to get done tonight. So
right on.
How we doing tonight, guys?
Good.
Good. I'm outside because there's a lot of chaos going on in my house right now.
Oh, well, at least it's a beautiful night outside.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, sky's gorgeous there. Off to a super start. Yep, Bunkaloo. How do you do? Yeah, right. Whatever.
Well, so guys, we won't take too much of your time up. But back to back, congratulations again. And how does it feel to go back to back at Cedar Shore? Has that ever, since my time, it hasn't been done before, but has it been done down there?
Yeah, I think Ron Gunn and Todd Height did it maybe. I know they won 2 of them really early on back in the day, but I can't remember if it was back-to-back or 1 year in between. But them were the 2 that did 2 of them really close together, whether it was back-to-back or not. But yeah.
Well, you'll be the 2 that everybody remembers.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Nowadays it lives online, right? So back then we really didn't have a video stream. I always tell people, like, setting up for a tournament is night and day difference than we used to do. You know,
for sure.
You guys look off the stage and it's cameras every direction, and which we love doing that. So, but yeah, so let's talk a little bit about your guys' weekend. We got a little interview with you on the stage, but let's talk a little bit about it.
Well, what do you want to know?
Okay, so let's start here. It took you over 30 pounds last year. It took just over 27 this year. All the conversation before we started the whole tournament, when we were talking to people on Friday, everybody was pretty sure it would take more than 30 pounds to win it. So are the fish lighter? Did you catch males that, what was the deal with the weights?
Jason, you're 100% right. We thought there was no way that anybody would take the trophy without 30 pounds plus. I think Dad would agree with that from what we were seeing, you know what I mean, per day, different areas.
The only reason is I thought there was a better chance of somebody getting a 25, 26, one of them unicorn fish down here. Because we've seen
so many
handful of them. I mean, a lot of overs this year, 20 to 22 inches. And the occasional 25, 26. And I just figured there would be somebody put them together each day, get lucky with them bites. But I still felt the slots might have been a little lighter in some areas than they were last year. And there wasn't as many around in some spots. I don't know. It could have been one from the bridge to the dam, anywhere in between, because there was just them good fish were everywhere on that whole boundary this year.
Yeah, there was good fishing in the marina. I had 9 nice walleye. It was honestly, it surprised me, because they were crushing the money badger. Yes, I threw a shameless plug out there, but because that's all I use, right? But I was very surprised at how they just came in and crushed it. So I thought it was going to be 2 big days of fishing. I really did.
Weather probably played something to go to. I mean, windy, took a few areas out of the play, and just it's this time of the year where things are fickle. Yeah. There's going to start to spawn. Right. Weather's been up and down, inconsistent, and we really didn't stick with our game plan either completely.
So did you boat any that had evidence that spawn was on?
Oh yeah, we boated one each day that was blowing eggs on the floor of the boat.
Oh, no kidding. Okay, all right. And
we hooked a couple post spawns too.
Okay. Yep. So I guess that was kind of the question that I think I got asked most of the last couple of days. Were they pre-spawn or post on walleye? And honestly, it was a mix from what I heard.
I'd say 85% were pre. Wouldn't you, Colton?
Yeah.
But,
okay.
Just getting
the day
going.
Prior, we were not hooking. They were all pre's. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
sure.
It was kind of
we've had it down there where, the weigh basket is pure white from the milting males, and there was some in there, but it wasn't like I've seen in the, in the past where it's like you pick up the weigh basket and it's just white on the bottom from all that. But, I guess I don't see the fish directly, so I couldn't tell if a lot of them were spawned out, but they know a guy wading over and he's like, it's not going to weigh much. It spawned.
Yeah.
So,
And how many weeks ago was that, Dad? When I hooked that one, you know what I mean? They've been milking for multiple weeks, but I think it's weather has a big factor with that.
You get them warm days, the males get excited. If you'd had the
Get
tournament
fired
today,
up, but
your
more of a
basket
thought.
would have been full of that milk.
Yeah.
Today because they were excited today. Obviously, it was warm and sunny and nice, and fish are just like us. This time of the year, they like that warm weather, and
yeah.
they get fired up when you get a little sunshine this time of the year.
By tomorrow, it's going to be go time, right? I mean, they're just going to be dropping eggs everywhere. I would guess you're going to have a few that probably will straggle behind.
Well, this morning I had a 22 and a half hit my floor of my boat, and as soon as she sat down, she spewed, I bet, half her eggs.
Really? Okay. So she's ready to go?
No, we got
No,
her.
not to mention you scared the eggs out of her. I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
And
I guess that's
in
bound to happen.
that nitro.
You're right. Yeah, right on.
But so, you think about that, like the spawn is, this tournament's always can be, with second weekend in April, you could have it pre-spawn, all pre-spawn. We could have it, what we kind of did this year, mid spawn. I mean, start a spawn basically.
Yep.
But the fish are healthy. I mean, them Chamberlain fish, I can't remember seeing fish this nice, like consistently come out of there. Like even the saugers usually get those rail saugers, and a couple people like brought the sauger. I'm like, I had to look twice to make sure I knew what it was because it was such a nice fish.
There's some nice saugers out there.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
The last 2 years, there's been some beautiful saugers, and you weigh them and they're 2.25, 2.5, right, Glenn? I mean,
Yeah,
they're right there. And I just told Dad, it doesn't matter how you get to 15 pounds as long as you get there, and if we got to go to the sauger hole. But, when we needed the saugers, they didn't bite, so that was our situation.
we failed on the slots this year, and probably
We did.
should have worked harder on that.
So,
Still need the overs to make it work.
Last year you guys ran way north and you were pitching, and that was kind of your plan. I know we talked a little bit on stage and said pitching really wasn't a factor on Saturday because of the wind. Let's go through your guys' game plan. What you guys, going into it, do you think you were going to pitch and you just had to pivot, or what?
We planned on doing some pitching for our slots. Didn't work out because we had electric motor problems with my boat. And that was just because of the rough weather, the screw stand, Greg from Swenson's, he figured that out right away at the weigh-in that my lock nut come loose and pushed it down. So we tried back trolling for slots, and, the wind was 3 foot where we thought we were going to get better slots, and it just didn't happen for us. I had one hooked up to the boat. Might have been an over, might have been a slot. It was a beauty. But then we ended up vacating that area, and we were lucky to have what we had on Saturday, or on the first day, to be honest. So...
Yeah, with boat problems,
go.
You just scramble and you just try to get 5 in the boat and get into weigh in, right?
Yeah.
So you guys pretty much, did you just go straight cranking the rest of the weekend, and that was kind of the game plan?
We did. We, you can always second guess what you did and what you didn't do. And I mean, fortunately, it worked out for us. We got lucky. We got some good bites, and we did. We just cranked, and that's how we ended up getting our weigh fish. So,
we talked a little bit on stage, and you said you guys went both directions, burned 40 gallons of gas in the boat, and you kind of went every direction on it.
We did. We went south. We went north. We fished in town. We were a little bit everywhere. So
we had a list of areas where we're catching weigh fish, but there was one particular area from boundary to boundary that we were catching overs that were a half a pound to 3/4 pound heavier. That's where we decided to fish.
Yeah. And you could have caught the same size overs clear at the north end, clear at the south end, all over. I mean, you could have won that tournament from town, anywhere. They're the right fish are all over this year in the boundary. And probably on the whole reservoir, honestly, as long as you get the right slots with them. But
yeah.
That's what made the tournament fun.
I will tell you, I had more people want to check their ruler this year than I've ever had want to check the ruler because of there's so many fish in that system at 19 and 7/8. Usually down there, I'm like, guys would pull up and I'm like, well, you're 15. They're like, we don't care. Where's the 19 mark? Where's the 20 mark? Like, they didn't care about the 15 mark when they were checking their board.
Yeah.
So,
you know what? I was able to pop some up that I caught. And this is just a great example of these 18 to 19 inch fish. And look at, that's a pretty chunky, that's a pretty chunky little fish there, right?
Yeah.
Now that one,
a little skinnier.
yep, skinny. I wonder if that one it looks probably spawned out, honestly. And then this one and then here. so here's the deal. I'm putting these into the Midwest Walleye Challenge that South Dakota is doing, and so I'm learning how to do that in the dark with an app that I've never used, and so that was one of the goofy pictures. But still, pretty good representation of those 18 to 19 inches that you're seeing on Francis Case.
Yep. Without doubt.
So with were we pulling leg core, snap weights? Walk us through the presentation so people can understand what you guys did down there. Give us, what do they call it, the full scoop.
Colton, go ahead.
We're pulling lead core basically, and number 7 flicker shads, and then number 7 shad wraps. Shad wraps probably the best.
Gotcha.
Any specific color that worked best down there?
It was like we keep it pretty simple. Try to white, gray. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's kind of how our program works, and kind of worked out, I guess.
That's not Lake Erie, right?
Speed's probably your biggest enemy, I think, more than color.
So,
you agree or not?
Yep.
So no snap weights at all? Just pulling lead core and just covering ground.
Nope.
Yep.
Just straight lead.
Okay.
See, you get down there, you got you're running your milk runs or your lead core passes, and in the back of your head, were you thinking the whole time, God, wish we could be casting? Like, I mean,
for sure, me, yeah, oh yeah.
Like, I want to be out here casting. This is what we do. This is what we want to do. And you guys guide, pretty much every day. You're on the water, both you guys guiding. So when it comes to having to tournament fish, and we all know guiding casting isn't always fun when you're guiding. So when you get a day to tournament fish and you get a cast but the wind blows, it's got to be a little devastating.
It is. It's frustrating, but I mean, still just go play the game and do what you do. Done a lot of casting the last 3 days, so I made up for it.
So you guys both guide down there. Go into a little bit of that. When do you guys start guiding? Who do you guys guide for? And if somebody wants to go on a trip with you guys, who do they reach out to?
Well, I've worked for Allen's for 23-ish years, somewhere in there, and we started this year in mid-February. And it just depends on weather, and it's all weather dependent. This time of the year, but people still come and they want to come. They want to enjoy it. A lot of people don't have boats, so they want to experience fishing in South Dakota. So we try to give them a good experience. And Allen's Guide Service out of Chamberlain does a great job of have some good guides. And, that's who I've worked for forever. And Colton's come along here in the last 5-6 years working with us as well. And yeah, it's a good deal.
I mean, them guys, go ahead.
Pardon?
I was just going to say, of course, you've got people that you've got clients that don't care whether it's windy. I don't care if it's windy. You're the one driving the boat. I'm paying you. Take me out and catch fish. I don't care if it's raining. I have my rain suit.
I got a customer coming this weekend, and he texted me last night. Is there anything you going to be able to get me out of the wind for the weekend to catch some fish? Like, well, I don't know. It might be better off sitting at home and watching cartoons, but I mean, we'll try, and we'll probably hopefully catch a fish or 3.
I don't know if you're going to be like us, but we're going to be 80 tomorrow and 40 with snow on Friday. So summer, winter again.
It is
right back into a funk, big time.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, we just need some steady weather. I was talking to some people pre-tournament, and they're like, if we could just get weather to go steady for a couple weeks this time of year, and the core to keep the water level and not drop it, we'd have amazing spawns every year in Chamberlain.
if you guys noticed, but this weekend they really dropped that water. They were really pumping out of the lower end.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
watched.
That made a big effect.
We talked Friday or Saturday after weigh-ins were over that we were going to have to remove our launch tube a little bit because it was in the water and the big ones kept trying to swim back in it. I went out there Saturday afternoon and said, we don't got to do nothing. It's out of the water now.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could see the water drop. We had to move our pump, reset it because it was out of the water. See, I watched it drop down quite a bit. And
yeah, some years it's amazing we get the spawn we get the way they fluctuate that reservoir.
Yeah, we're down 2 up here. We're under. We've been at 1602, almost 1603, but we've been at 1601 pretty steady now. We're at 1600 and about 9 inches. So even we're down a little bit up here.
Sure.
No really runoff to foresee coming in the future from the mountains. I mean, there's not much there, but that's the thing about the reservoir system. It could be, we all remember the hell of 2011 when we were like okay, and then we weren't in a weekend.
Right.
I mean, you getting rains up north, and that all comes down to us. So it can all vary. And the nice thing about Oahe and stuff is it plays for a long time. And kind of like you guys, you can't get too low. I mean, Glenn, in all your years of guiding down there, do you ever remember a time you can't get in the water?
No. The only time we really couldn't get in the water was 2011, and we had a dock off the road that year.
Yeah.
But, other than Oahe, that's probably good for a fishery just because high water, really makes a fishery fun to fish.
Yeah.
And it just creates a lot of food for young of the year. The only unfortunate thing about that is it flushed Oahe out that year.
Yeah. Well, and like I tell people all the time, like I don't like right now, like, next year, maybe the year after, like I'm okay with the water level being what it is. The vegetation is growing up, getting so sustained on the shoreline right now that when this thing, Lake Oahe, comes up, it's going to be an absolute explosion of a hatch. And I mean, I would, if I could, like I tell people, if I could run the core, if I had the lever for the dam, I would, keep the water off mostly till about mid-July, and then I'd start lowering it and let that vegetation grow up and let it come back up in the spring. Because you'd have amazing hatches every year if you can do that.
Yes, you would.
But
you'd have habitat for young of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the perch would probably pop too.
Yeah.
So, well, guys, congratulations again. I know Colton's got to do some fun stuff tonight, and
taxes.
Yay! Hey, Uncle Sam.
Wait till the last day.
I started the grill this evening and put some glaze on there or whatever, and we had some friends come over for because he's the tax guy, and I told my wife to keep an eye on it for a second while I went and cleaned up, and I come back out and the grill was on flames. I was so scared I had to unhook the propane tank. I mean,
crap!
Oh, you better get over and get your grilling
done. So now we scrambled and I breaded some fish up, and she's now frying fish. So
hey, you always gotta have a backup.
Probably shouldn't say that with my old man on here because I'll probably hear about that later. So
sounds good. We'll be over in about 3 hours.
Your own house now, so I'm not
right on. Yeah, let the kid grow up, right? Let him go.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us. Congratulations again on the back-to-back
Thanks for a great
win.
tournament, Kurt.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys.
Wow.
We've all been there. We've almost all started the house on fire at one point with the grill, right?
Oh God, I tell the one thing came to mind the minute he said that. I freaked out. So when I bought my place at Lock, I was trying to get rid of all the little mouse holes and all the places where the Mises to pieces and frankly, I think the rats could get in because there were, I had to clean some stuff up, and I'd blown some of that spray foam insulation down underneath the water heater because I'm like, okay, I can't get that sealed down there, so I'm going to do that. So I get everything all done in there, and I walk away and I let it kind of foam up and dry, and I'm trying to I know, I went to light the water heater, and and that damn insulation, poof, it's and that here's the crazy thing, it didn't flame up. It had that that blue flame, just that I don't know what the heck you call it, but it was blue flame And I'm like, oh my God, this is a 1972 trailer. The wood's so dry, I could light a fart and blow the trailer up, right? And boom. And I freaked out. And luckily I had a little thing of water, and I threw some water on it, and it kind of spread the flames a little bit. But thank God I put down a blanket of this aluminum. And Gene, how you doing? So anyway, all was good, and I didn't burn it down, but I thought about that for a quick second and thought, I just about lost everything I own here, because if that thing would have started on fire, Gettysburg's 15 miles away, she'd have been gone.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, heart went to my toes.
That happens quick, right? I mean, that happens pretty quick, but
Fast.
Yeah, we've all.
Yeah,
I've come out, my girl's been on fire. I've seen it. We've all been there. So, but yeah. So coming up, we got a lot of stuff ahead of us, man. We do. This weekend is Pike Masters. Registration is still open till tomorrow night. So 4-man team, come on, take on the Lunkers. The weather looks terrible. I'm not even
right.
Although the last time I looked, it looked better. So I'm going to look again here quick. And
I'm not even going to look.
Saturday, I'm looking because I'm fishing this one, so I don't really care. But Saturday, we're looking 18 to 24 at 4 o'clock, 19 to 31. So
okay,
40. So we're going down a little bit. But yeah, so Pike Masters this weekend. Come fish the Lake Oahe Pike Masters on 4-man team, $400. Shore fish, boat fish. It's just a great time. And then next weekend, we're back in Sharp. We're back in Pier for the Sharp Showdown. So make sure you get signed up. Still some spots in the Sharp Showdown. Get in there. What a great event by the Chamber. They're going to have heavy appetizers at the rules meeting with all the extra sponsors that are part of it, between, the big fish prizes, the day money prizes. There's a ton of money in that thing. $450, 2-man team. Come fish Lake Sharp. If you've never been here, it's a great fishery. A lot like Chamberlain. I mean, I would even beg to argue that the fish might not be as big, but they're looking nice this year. I went out a couple weekends ago with a buddy. They're looking really nice, but it's easy to do 100 fish days on Lake Sharp. It's just one of those fish factories that just happen.
Yeah, and you can find the big ones. Here again, like Glenn said, luck.
Yeah, I mean, there are big ones, right? There's definitely big ones on there, but it's not like, it's not going to be like being on Lake Oahe where you're guaranteed 2 overs a day, right? I mean, or you might be guaranteed 2 overs, but they're 20s to 22s. You're not going to. I mean, there are those unicorn 27 pluses in there.
The Bob Crow fish.
Yeah.
Right.
But Bobby Crow caught one last year. They're unicorns, but it's such a fun tournament. The Chamber does a great job. You get a weigh-in Steamboat Park. You get a takeoff in town. It's such a fun tournament. Come be part of it. Support the Pier Chamber with that event. And then the following weekend, we go to Big Stone for a bass event. Man, I can't wait to get over to Big Stone and watch some largemouth roll. I've never weighed a largemouth.
Yeah, I've never caught one.
Yeah, I've caught them when I was a kid up in Minnesota off the dock, spinner baits off our dock, catching big largies, or what I thought was a big largie at 10 years old.
Yeah, sure. Right.
But yeah, I can't wait to go see some, big largemouth, some smallmouth on Lake up there. So just got a lot of stuff ahead of us. And then we roll into May, we got last weekend in May, we got the Vermonic Electric Tournament. And then May's kind of a break, and then June's full bore. Mm-hmm. We got the funder or the handicap fishing tournament that we're going to be part of. The Denny Palmer will be up in your country, and then the Vermonic or the Home Builders tournament, and then we're off to the races. Gov Cup be here before we know it. So
yeah, don't even say that yet. My God, we can't get past winter yet.
South Dakota, we go from we pretend to be winter, and we have an 80-degree day, and then we're winter, and then we pretend to be winter, and then to 85, 90 degrees in a week.
Yeah, had a gal the other day say, well, that's why we live in South Dakota. I've never hit a woman before, but I wanted to at least reach up and go, oh, honey, you shouldn't have said that. Because seriously, big stone bass are amazing. Now, I've caught plenty. That's where I have my 11-inch crappie from. or not crappie. I'm sorry, bluegill. Yeah, 11-inch crappie. I'm bragging on that, right? So I heard about these 11 bluegill.
I was gonna be like,
yeah, right. Yeah. So I get up there and I'm like, I don't know where to catch these bluegill. And I pulled in with my little white boat and I had my Chase and Walter jersey on. And this guy goes, "Hey, I listened to your radio show. I listened to it on YouTube. I know who you are. Do you want to know where the 11-inch bluegill are at?" And I'm like, well, I don't. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not gonna. If you don't want to tell me, that's fine. I would never ask. He goes, "No, I'm gonna tell you." He told me where to go, and I found him on Side Imaging, and by God, it turned into a fish fest. I'm not kidding. I had 2 11s, and then I had 6 10.5s, and then the 9 to 9.5s. I just finally stopped counting and went, okay, that's it. I'm done. So that was one of those odd times where you hear about something, you pull in, you sit down, and you get to partake in the party. And it was a ton of fun. And I went back the next year to try to replicate it and couldn't do it. But
I've only ever ice fished that lake. I know my dad. My dad hated Big Stone. Hated it.
There's a lot of people that do
for walleye fishing. I mean, he always told me he always told me that if we ever run a blue or a walleye tournament on Big Stone, I mean, he'd probably roll over in his grave. He spent 1 month there practicing for tournament and never caught a walleye.
Yeah, I get that. I fished there for walleye and never caught a walleye. Caught a lot of other stuff. Talked to the game warden there last fall. He was amazed at all the bluegill he checked. That's the crazy thing. I think what happened there is those big 10 and 11-inch bluegill, the secret got out and people just went crazy and kept the damn things. Instead of keeping those 9-inch, they kept the big ones. I put every fish I caught back. Yeah. And I always do that, and that it's a nice fishery. It's a good, if you live in that area, it's worth fishing, right? I mean, I don't think it's worth the big drive. Not for walleye, not for average size walleyes.
I'm sure it is. My dad just hates it, right? I mean, he was anti Big Stone just because it beat him up so bad. I mean, it was his nemesis, right? Like he's like, I can't even catch one in practice.
Yeah, but see there's a secret to Big Stone too, and you gotta do it right, because Parker, he's a young fella that I know. Parker and his grandpa, they can catch big walleye up there almost on command and demand. But that kid's fished that lake since he was young. I think he's probably 21 now. When he was 12, 13, 14, the kid was on fire, knowing how to do things, and it was amazing. I mean, it was a ton of fun. So that's kind of thing you really kind of got to know the secret up there, know where to find him. And I'd love to say where that spot is, because I'd love to, but I'm not gonna, because there are some guys that would say, you dipstick. Why did you say that? Because I mean, it's not hard to figure out, especially now with live sonar. For me, a few years ago with Side Imaging, looking for those pods of bluegill, that was a piece of cake. I mean, if I wouldn't have had the Side Imaging, I probably would have eventually run across them in 2D and down. But in 2D, I wouldn't have had a clue what they were. I just wouldn't have known, because I've never been on a pod of really big, monster bluegill.
Yeah. I mean, we caught him in the Snow Bear up there a couple years ago, and it was like we went up there and ran that perch tournament, the Glacier Lake Snow Bear perch tournament, and with we went out the day one, and we were with the Garmin guys. We stopped their Snow Bear to check them. I'm like, "How you doing on the perch?" They go, "We don't care. These bluegills, we can't leave them." Oh, and they got into bluegills and crappies, and they couldn't leave them.
I hope that the crappie. I found a few spots for crappie out here. I'm really interested to see where that goes, and frankly, I'm hoping to find some sauger up here too. I don't know. I know there's a few up here, but I just want to fish for something a little different. And one more thing before we go, or whatever it is. What are we at? 30 minutes. Not like we're going to sit here and just babble for another half an hour. Have you noticed, anybody that's watching tonight, and I see there a few of them dropping here, the pressure thing. So we've got a blue sky, right? We've got a bluebird day, bright blue sky, and pressure's 29.5. Okay. And then we get a cloudy day with snow and pressure is 30.6. Now, me growing up in radio, knowing the weather thing and the low pressure thing and the whole counterclockwise deal, clouds, low pressure, blue sky, high pressure. When in the hell did the paradigm shift and what's going on here? That's what I want to know.
I was proud of you. We haven't heard about pressure in like a year. And now it's back. But
well, I decided to zip my lip. But now the thing is, I sit there on the radio and I'm talking pressure every hour, and I'm looking out the window. And I'm like, what the heck? We've got an inch of snow on the ground, and it's 30.5.
I've never been a pressure. Yes, Felby, there's plenty of apple pie left. The weekend hasn't hit yet, though. Felby made me some apple pie, and my wife said, "You do not give this out. This is gold."
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
So, no, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I never follow the pressure. This weekend's going to be Pike Masters. It's going to be miserable as always. Or we've had every weather in that, kind of like Cedar Shore. We've had everything, but really look forward to getting that. I actually get a fish in that one. We do the registrations for the guys, and then they run we bring our stage over and they run everything. And I get to go fishing in that one, so it's a lot of fun. Haven't done very well in it for the most part, but yeah. Oh, we got a comment from Chad.
Only one that watches. I do because I'm a radio guy, right? You know, every hour you're running through, especially now. Before I was just consuming all kinds of data, trying to come up with content for shows. And Chad, you're right. Yeah, I was paying attention to all that stuff. I fell for some of it, but here's the interesting thing. These fish, care to take a guess at what the pressure was? Now, if it works, why not? Exactly. But here's the thing. If pressure's 29.8 to 30.2, I'm fishing. If it's either side of a line, I won't even grab a rod because the fish won't bite. So what do you think pressure was on Saturday morning, Saturday night, and Sunday morning when I caught those fish? 29.6. I wouldn't have touched a rod. I wouldn't have grabbed it. I wouldn't have even tried because I thought pressure was low and the fish wouldn't bite. Some of the biggest walleye that I caught 2 falls, my fall eye, that big October, November, 29.4 to 29.5 in like a foot of water. So anyway, that whole 28 to 29, they're selling all of those, barometers and all that happy hogwash and whatever that was.
Was it a jiggy minute? But are you asking about the Chamberlain fishing or Chasen's fishing off the shore?
Because it's different.
Yeah. So, clarify which one you're asking about that. But why we're waiting for him to respond on that? Pop those pictures up and let's talk about your Midwest walleye. Explain.
Oh, do you want to talk about that? Okay. Yeah. All right. Yep. So the Midwest Walleye Challenge, you could play for $25. You go and sign up, and I think you can just Google Midwest Walleye Challenge. It should pop it up. You got to download the MyCatch app. Learn to use it before you go fishing, because I caught 3 fish, didn't think to put them in, and it was a 20 and a half. It was a 17 and a 15, so I kind of screwed up there. But anyway, once I figured it out, and here's – so the thing is, if you're fishing in the dark and you go to take that picture, it takes a while for the picture to take. So you got to make sure you've got light on your fish or you're going to have this happen. So anyway, you measure your fish and take a picture, and you can pinch the tail. And each of them, once you've started a trip, each of them will be counted under that trip. And then you take the picture for length. You can take a hero picture. So if you want to do you holding the picture, go right ahead. See, what else can I tell you? It's got to be on a bump board. You have to make sure that the nose of the fish is touching the bump board and that you can see it. And was that? Yeah, I just think that's a skinny little male. I never really realized that. How long was that one? Okay, that was the one that was just under 15.
Yeah.
So that was one of the skinny males. I decided it's a 15-incher. I'll just put it on there anyway. So anyway, they've got an opportunity to win some prizes. I think there's even like 10 grand cash or something, or 10 grand in prizes or something you can win, but check it out. It's perfect for the kids. If you guys fish a fair amount and want to get in on it.
Well, and there's teams this year, and then there's like random, like $25. I know one guy was like, he made his money back in just random drawings for it. Pretty cool deal. Get in. And what it does is it's giving the game fishing parks more data. Right. It's like a live on the water Creo survey that they're not even hitting these bodies of water. So you got to pinpoint, you got to start a trip, put where you're at. If I'm correct, I've never done it. Species, stuff like that, and then track it. So we got a few comments in here. So Steve was wondering about Chamberlain. So Chamberlain Fishing Tournament, the Eimers won at pulling crankbaits. I would say probably most of our teams were pulling crankbaits because of the wind. Definitely there was some jig playing in there, but it's it was definitely a crankbait bite for the most part. I saw more cranking rods out Sunday morning than I've seen in a long time. So,
but you know what? It's kind of fun to have a tournament won that way. How does pressure affect the guy when fishing is at 50 to 60 foot of water? Honestly, I don't know. Here's the deal. Pressure is so strong, 50 to 60 feet down. I don't think they know the difference.
Yeah.
Beyond the fact that you've got a bluebird day or a cloudy day, and they can obviously see the light from the surface. Cole says, great tournament again this past weekend. The extra effort you guys put forward for the tournament creates a great experience, even in the middle of the pack finish. 1 year that first place trophy is coming back to Nebraska. Fantastic. Yeah, Cole, thanks. We
Sharp Showdown. Take that one back.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's things are different. We're honestly, we're more like a TV show. Well, we have the ability to offer different camera angles and different views. You can see the crowd, you can see the bump board, you can see the line of fishermen, so whether it's going to take an hour and a half or another hour or whatever to weigh in. You get the stuff on stage, you zoom in on the big fish, and that's a ton of fun.
Yeah, you and Andrew really kicked it up, and I got a picture I should have put down here. I don't know if you have it. You're better at loading them. I'll text it to you so that people can see what mission control looks like nowadays behind the scenes.
It is way different, right?
It is complete mission control from behind the scenes, and it's insane. But I just sent to you so you can show people
Okay.
They spend as much time getting that ready, probably more. And it's such impressive. I'm so impressed by what you guys are doing. And you guys are, every time I turn around, you're out there figuring out where another camera goes, and we're looking at different things. And I'm like, and it's so nice because I just whatever, guys, I'll stand on stage and talk, and you make me look good.
Well, it's crazy, but Andrew has been the driving force behind that, because Andrew gets all of that. All right, where did it go?
God, don't say that. We miss you, buddy. You're a great bump guy. So.
Oh yeah, we need you back.
Thanks, Zach. And
there's Zach.
Your last name.
All right, I gotta go find why I can't find it now.
Thank you, Peter. We'll see you Saturday or Friday night. But if you're in fantasy, make sure you get your picks in. I got the text last night, and I got to get my picks in. I don't know if I'm going to use the old Chat GTP secret I have, because the last two haven't done me very good with Chat GTP. But I'll at least look at that a little bit and use AI to help.
Yeah, you got to do that tonight, right? Because they start at 6:00 tomorrow morning, I think, right?
Got the text from our group saying get your picks in.
Yep.
And then it's going to be, and then I forgot all about it. I'm sure we'll get another one. Stormy does a great job running that group, but yeah,
that's fun.
Old Pitter, we'll see him this weekend at Pike Masters, and he's a true Pike Master himself.
Sorry it took me a bit, but when you send a picture via text and I download it, it doesn't show up in my folder. So that's where, I mean, when you're looking at all those different views, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so this is a little behind the scenes of what a tournament looks like. You can look on the table, you see 2 computers there, you got soundboards, you got cameras laying around. You can see 2 cameras laying there on the table, and then Jason's looking at 5-6 different screens going on at one time, and controlling commercials going in and live leaderboard going up. It's amazing. I mean, he sits in a trailer and is busier than I am on stage. I can put
That's nuts.
Yeah. So Casey's asked how many teams are in champion. We had 80 there. So 80 was down a little bit. I figured we lost 11 to the NWT on Lake Erie. A gentleman from down there told me he figures 30
more. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Going to continue to try to grow that one, get it back up to that 100, 130, 140, 150 mark. I'd be super pumped with the 100 teams down there and really love to get it back to 150. And the guys that's such a fun tournament. Yes, weather's going to suck, but I've had weather like that in July. Only difference is it's warm, usually a lot warmer usually. But Saturday morning was crazy. Walked out of the room at 4:30 to go fish in a hoodie. And it was gorgeous. By 5:30, we were digging for coveralls.
Right. It is nuts. And so here's the other thing too that I've heard over the last few years, because people associate me with the Cedar Shore tournament because of things that we're doing. You know, like, I don't know. I sure as hell I'm not fishing down there there's no big fish down there. Well, who cares? You can catch 27 pounds of fish to 13 and a half pounds a day,
10
and
pounds
still win
fish,
10 grand, right? What was the top prize?
10 grand.
10 grand. Who cares whether you catch 6 pounds to win it or 60? It doesn't matter. You're winning the money. Go out there and play and participate. So, are the boat numbers down because we're not bringing in 50-pound bags? Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's a tournament on a lake. The lake gives you 30 pounds to win it. 30 pounds to win it.
I mean, that's just it, right? Like, okay, so we come to Oahe and we know we're going to play. We know we're going to play, for big fish, right? We know we're going to get big fish on Lake Oahe, but we go to Sharp or Chamberlain. We'll talk about Sharp Showdown. You're all playing for the same stuff, right? It's a slot fish fest. I will not deny you on that, but you're going to have a guy. What did I tell you last year? Both tournaments, I said, this is what's going to happen. Somebody's going to weigh a big bag day one. What did I say for NWT? 14 to 17 pounds on day one, or 15 to 17 on day one. I didn't imagine Bobby Curl catching 2 big overs day one.
Right.
And then they're going to come back with a 9-pound bag. I was 2 pounds off of, because I didn't factor in that other over in there. But it's just a great event. And you're competing for the same thing, right? Everybody's playing on the same field. It's not like we're giving half the guys to go to Lake Oahe and catch overs, Yes. So it's all so Chad,
everybody's fishing the same 18-inch fish.
Yep.
Thanks, Chad.
Is the Big Stone Bass Open on May 3rd at Fisher Crew? Yes, it is. 100%. We talked about it a little bit ago. Get in the Big Stone Bass Open. You guys want to go have something fun, different, chasing something different. Most of our guys are walleye fishermen on here. Make sure you go check out go come fish that one or the Bass Cup. We got the first year we did the Bass Cup. Every year we have walleye guys step into it, and it's so much fun to watch, and they all enjoy it. I remember Matt Johnson telling me the first year he fished the Bass Cup, he said, I used to cuss smallmouth for taking my creek chubs when I was practicing for the Gov Cup. Now I'm cussing them because I can't make them bite.
Yeah, right on. Right, and that's exactly it right there. You're using them to make them bite.
Casey, we've averaged about 45-ish teams for that. It caps at 60. So love to see that event at 60 teams. So we should probably be in that 40s again is where I'm thinking we're going to come in. Registration closes next Wednesday. So make sure you guys get signed up and get in that one. And then we have great competitive state with great anglers. Yeah, it's 100%. 100%. So, it's such a fun time of year. If, like I tell people, if you've never done one, sign up for one. Find out if it's your cup. If you have any inkling, just sign up for one. Have fun. Take it for what it is. Learn from it. And you're not going to get any better at them if you don't start trying.
Yeah, it's true. If you want to be a tournament fisherman or one of tournaments, you might as well do it. I might sneeze.
Uh-oh.
Hey, remember, you're the one that's got to end the stream because you started it. And otherwise we'll have a mess there.
Yeah, you end it on our first oopsie. You can hit the extra and it'll end it automatically, remember?
It did, didn't it? But did it ended it completely?
Yep.
Oh, well, then maybe I'll try and mess it up then.
I'll be watching. We've had one where we went extra innings, remember? We ended it. I forgot to hit end. So
no. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Be ready to hit the end if it doesn't.
Yeah. So, this weekend we won't have Jason doing the full coverage, but we'll bring you some weigh-in coverage of Pike Masters. So make sure you tune in for that. Pretty much every weekend this summer. May's pretty light for us after May 3rd, but follow along. I mean, we'll go check out thefishingcrew.com. Any one of those events you see will be a live streamed event. Some will be better than others because Jason will be at them.
Yep. So we'll be at the Sharp Showdown, and of course we got the Gov Cup for sure, and then we'll see about the other ones.
You'll probably be at Denny because you live right.
Yep, that's possible. Yep. That could very well be.
I'm gonna I don't know where you live yet, but I can find out where you live and drag you down there.
Yeah, right.
You in the crowd, I can just come tackle you.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, no, it's a ton of fun though. It was a lot of fun last weekend. It was a great time, and appreciate everybody watching, everybody hanging out. Here's the cool thing: nobody bitched in a comment about the leaderboard. Nothing. Everything was pretty much spot on. Yes, can we make it better? Can we do better? You betcha. But by God, we came back in 2026 with our poop in a group. And honestly, you know what? For as much as we bashed the National Walleye Tour, they came out with their poop in a group and they blew it up. They did a fabulous job.
Was looking forward to my time on 5 minutes on the couch.
Yeah. 5 minutes with the fishing crew that could go 5 to 10 minutes.
I gave Jason crap because I didn't know he was doing that, because I just kind of let him have free reign, and I'm always busy getting everything ready for the rules meeting. And my deal is every time at the end of the rules meeting night when I'm laying in bed, I watch all his videos, and it was 5 minutes with the fishing crew. I think the shortest one was like 7.5 minutes.
Well, here's the deal. If I would just shut up, we could make it in 5 minutes. All right. And that's how it's going to be going forward. They don't need to be longer than 5 minutes.
I mean, Ben Beatles could have been about 15 seconds if you just let him talk.
Yeah. Well, Ben's kind of a quiet guy, so I figured I was going to have to do all the talking or most of the talking.
It was such a good thing.
Anyway.
We talked about it last week quite a bit, but congratulations to Bo and Chad for a heck of a start in the National Walleye Tour Series out in Lake Erie.
Awesome.
And Jaden Wendell had a pretty good placing out there too. So, yeah, it was pretty fun to, he's 100%. Jason, you're killing it, bud. 100%. It's fun to watch. It's really comforting from 3 years ago, basically. Jason coming to the first ones going, I'm all thumbs. What do I do?
Yeah, right on. Now I'm using my thumbs.
Yeah.
Literally.
I walk by your lot when you're 5 minutes in heaven, whatever. What was that game back? You were literally controlling the stream off your phone. I'm like, we have
right. It was literally everything was off a cell phone.
Yeah.
And now it's like a big, not a big TV studio, but it's a TV studio. It's pretty cool stuff. So,
yeah. So
anyway, we do appreciate you guys watching, following along, and sharing good ideas. So thank you.
Yeah, I thank everybody for following along each and every Wednesday night, and make sure you like and share all our pages. Follow along on our socials. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube pages. All that stuff helps us continue to grow. And if you guys like what you see, make sure you leave a review and tell us how great we're doing. We'd appreciate it.
Yeah, we never ask that enough, and I'm like, if they review it, whatever, I don't care. But if you do, thank you. It always helps. It helps the algorithm, I guess, so that each of these shows get more views. So,
yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, then.
We'll catch you guys this weekend from Pike Masters.
All right. Sounds good. That's a wrap.